There's a plant standing in gardens all over the country right now that hasn't been divided, moved, or replaced in over 20 years, and it looks exactly the same as the day it was planted, just bigger. Meanwhile, you keep carrying home the same wilted perennial from the garden center's discount table every spring, watering it through the summer heat, watching it die anyway. There are plants out there that simply refuse to play that game. They don't get fertilized, they don't get staked, they don't get replaced. They just stay, while everything else in the bed gets swapped out 2 or 3 times. I'm showing you 7 of those plants today. And the last one on this list is sitting in a shady corner somewhere right now, outliving 3 different owners of the house behind it, and none of them ever had to think about it once. Over the next few minutes, you're not getting a generic list from a gardening magazine. You're getting 7 specific cultivars, with names you can actually ask for at the garden center. The reason most gardeners have never heard of them is simple. Chain garden centers order what sells fast, not what lasts longest. If you're planting in August, you actually have an advantage most gardeners waste. The soil is warm enough for fast root growth, while the brutal summer heat is finally easing off. Stick around to the end, because plant number 1 on this list isn't a recommendation. It's the plant I keep coming back to, in my own garden, when nothing else has worked. To understand why these 7 plants are different, you need a bit of background. Since 1990, the American Perennial Plant Association has handed out exactly one title every year: Perennial Plant of the Year. It doesn't go to the plant with the prettiest catalog photo. It goes to the plant that grows reliably, with the least maintenance, across the widest range of climates, for the most years running. The American Hosta Growers Association started its own version of that award in 1996, and since the 2000s, the Mount Cuba Center in Delaware has been running multi-year field trials on entire plant families, publishing openly which cultivar gets powdery mildew and which one simply holds up. That data rarely makes it to the shelves of the big garden chains, though. The same handful of cultivars sits there for decades, because the supply chain is built around them, not because they're the best. That's exactly why the same wilted stock ends up on the discount table every July, replaced next spring by the same cultivars all over again. Every plant on this list has already passed those tests. They carry official awards spanning 2004 through 2024, and almost no gardener has ever asked for a single one of them by name. Let's fix that. Number 7. Rudbeckia American Gold Rush. The standard almost every garden center carries is Goldsturm, and Goldsturm develops brown fungal leaf spots by August that spread across the lower foliage. American Gold Rush was bred specifically for resistance to that exact fungus, and it was named Perennial Plant of the Year in 2023. The foliage stays clean from June through October. The flowers are smaller but far more numerous, and goldfinches strip the seed heads clean all winter. Plant it in full sun, in practically any soil, and leave it alone. By year 3, the clump is a dense golden fountain. No dividing, no feeding, no spraying, ever. Here's a question worth asking first. Why does the coneflower you planted last spring already look tired? Number 6 is the answer. The wild coneflower, Echinacea purpurea, in its original species form, not the neon orange or deep red hybrids from the cooler at the garden center. That new color breeding looks spectacular in year 1, but often loses vigor after just a few winters because intensive color breeding tends to come at the cost of winter hardiness. The straight species, pink-purple, unremarkable at first glance, stands in the same spot for 20 years and beyond, self-sows gently, and gets absolutely mobbed by pollinators. The dried seed heads feed goldfinches all winter. Cheap, plain, and it outlasts every hybrid sitting next to it. 5 months. That's how long number 5, the hardy geranium Roseanne, stays in bloom, May clear through October, without you ever deadheading a single flower. Named Perennial Plant of the Year in 2008, Roseanne grows as a soft, gently spreading carpet, never crowds its neighbors, and never flops. Most gardeners over 50 have never heard the name, even though hardly any other perennial gets recommended more often in the US. Plant it in sun to part shade. in well-drained soil, water it through the first summer, then just watch it for the next 15 years. Most of you have never heard of number 4 either. That's exactly the point. Amsonia hubrichtii, the blue star native to the Ouachita Mountains of Arkansas, was named Perennial Plant of the Year in 2011. In late spring, it covers itself in delicate sky blue star-shaped flowers. Then in October, the entire plant turns solid gold, a second, completely separate performance from the same clump. Deer won't touch it. It needs no water after the first year, and it holds its shape for 2 decades. No marketing department ever crowned it Plant of the Season. The judging panel did. Ask anyone who grew phlox in the 2000s what ugly phlox means, and they'll describe brown, mildew-crusted stems by August. Number 3. Garden Phlox Gina was named Perennial Plant of the Year in 2024, the most mildew-resistant cultivar Mount Cuba Center has ever recorded in its phlox trials. Gina stays clean all season, produces lavender-pink flower clusters, and drew more butterflies in the trials than any other phlox tested. Plant it in full sun, in average garden soil, and divide the clump every 3 to 5 years once it thickens up. That's the only real work this one ever asks for. This is the plant you plant once and never touch again. Number 2. Baptisia australis, blue false indigo, was named Perennial Plant of the Year in 2010. It develops a taproot that runs deep into the ground, making it nearly untouchable by drought, heat, deer, or fungal disease. The blue flower spires in late May look almost like lupines, except Baptisia doesn't vanish after 2 or 3 years. The black seed pods rattle in the fall wind and get raided by goldfinches all winter. One warning, that taproot won't tolerate being moved once established. Choose the spot once. It stays for a quarter century. And here's number 1. I've watched the same clump of Hosta sum in substance anchor a shaded north-facing bed for over 15 years, through 2 different owners of that house, without a single division, a single replant, or a single phone call to a landscaper. Named Hosta of the Year by the American Hosta Growers Association back in 2004, it's held up better than almost anything else on that list since. Its leaves are noticeably thicker than an ordinary hostas, which is exactly why the slugs that turn most hostas into Swiss cheese by August can't get through this one. Plant it once in dappled morning shade, give it 4 feet of clear space on every side, water it through the first summer, and walk away. By year 3, it's the size of a small car. By year 7, it's the one plant every visitor asks about by name. And if you're only planting one thing from this list in August, this is the one where the timing is actually perfect. Late summer is peak hosta planting season. So why haven't you heard most of these 7 names before? Because garden center chains place their orders years in advance, with a handful of wholesale growers who optimize for volume, not trial results. A cultivar that can be patented and mass-propagated gets a marketing budget. A cultivar that only wins because an independent trial measured mildew resistance, drought tolerance, and winter survival gets none. Nobody sat in a room and decided to keep this list from you. It's simpler and, honestly, more frustrating than that. A supply chain built for fast turnover, not for a bed that still looks the same in 20 years. So the choice in front of you is smaller than it feels. Keep buying whatever's stacked at the front of the store because it's there, or walk in with these 7 names and ask for them directly. Most nurseries can order what isn't sitting on the pallet, if you ask. Nobody's going to tell you that on their own. Now you know it. Some beds get rebuilt every spring, others get built once. Go look at the empty spot in your garden where something died last year. Put one of these 7 there instead. Then, don't touch it again, and let it outlive you.